Good day to all of you. I'm S. Sivaram, former senior executive with 47 years of experience from Shashasai Paper and Boards Limited, Erode. I'm very glad to share my knowledge and experience on ISO with all of you. In our previous presentation, we have already seen videos on ISO 9001, ISO 14001 and ISO 45001. In this video, we will discuss about ISO internal and external audits. Welcome to ISO IMS Internal Audit Training. What is ISO Internal Audit? IMS means Integrated Management System, that is combined ISO 9001, ISO 14001, ISO 45001. It is a combined audit and conducted by internal auditors or external certifying agencies or agency auditors for compliance of ISO standards. These audits are conducted to verify whether the company complies with the ISO standards requirements, whether these are implemented effectively to achieve objectives and aligned with their business process. ISO internal audit is mandatory requirement of ISO standards. Internal audits are conducted internally by the organization. That means the organization initiates and plans these audits. This is a self-assessment of the processes implemented for quality, environment, occupational health and safety management systems in the organization. Information from internal audit forms an important element and inputs for the management review meetings. Let's say how many types of audits are there. There are 3 types of audits. They are as follows. First party is the audit conducted within the company by the qualified employees who have been trained as ISO internal auditors by ISO consultants or the ISO certifying agencies. Second party audit is an audit conducted by the qualified company employee on the subcontractor or supplier to check the conformance of the customer requirements of the company. Third party audit is conducted by an external independent body, usually an ISO certifying agency. Let's see what does the ISO 3 standards say about internal audit. In all the 3 standards, the clause number 9.2 talks about guidelines how to conduct internal audit. First, prepare a schedule for conducting IA at planned internal audit at planned intervals. Check for the organization's own requirements for its quality, environment, occupational health and safety management systems, including its policies and objectives, whether they are effectively implemented and maintained. Check whether changes made in the processes, products and services are also appropriately updated in the 3 standards documents and records. The pending jobs from the previous audits are to be reviewed again in the present internal audit too. Only qualified ISO internal auditors to conduct internal audit and show the results of QMS and EMS audits are reported to a relevant top management. For occupational safety and management systems, results are also to be conveyed to relevant managers, workers, representatives and other interested parties. Take appropriate correction and corrective actions to address the audit findings early. Retain all the related internal audit documents and reports. What is the procedure for conducting ISO internal audit? Top post is to first select an external ISO consultant who had passed the ISO lead auditor course for QMS, EMS, occupational health and safety management from a reputed ISO certifying agency. He is eligible to give ISO internal audit training to selected employees in the organization to be trained as ISO internal auditors. Next, nominate personnel who will be ISO internal auditees. Usually they are HODs and internal auditors who will participate in the internal audit. The consultant will train these internal auditees and auditors about the meaning and importance of ISO clauses and their subclauses. Next, the consultant will also train the internal auditors how to conduct the internal audits, how to document the internal audit findings as minutes, and how to write NCR, that is non-conforming reports. The internal auditors will be taught how to reply to the audit findings and NCR in the prescribed ISO format. Audit should attend both the ISO internal audit opening and closing meetings without fail. Auditors should not audit their own work or department. ISO internal audit ought to be ought to identify facts where further improvement can be done in the business process. Audit should not be done for the sake of conducting audits. Internal audits should add value to our management system and business. Auditee should feel that the auditor is there to help him to identify the gaps in the system so that they can be rectified early, and he will be all well prepared to face the third party external auditor with confidence. Only with the effective internal audit process, effectiveness of management system can be assessed and improved continually. Some audit findings for which management approval have been put on hold need not be documented as audit findings. Records of the audits and the results are to be maintained, since they will be verified by the third auditors during the management audit. What is annual audit plan? We need to prepare a schedule for ISO internal audits, external audits by certifying agency, and for the conducting MR meetings, that is management review meetings. This is a sample of QMS, EMS, occupational health, safety and management system annual audit plan for conducting ISO internal audit, third certifying body audits, and MR meetings. Here you can see the non-technical departments are given in green background, yellow for process production departments, and blue color for engineering department. All the departments in the company are covered under these headings. The audit schedule dates are informed well in advance so that both internal auditees and auditors can be fully prepared to face the audit with confidence. Now let's see what are the ISO auditors' requirements are. These are the familiar words for the auditors normally used during the audit. What, when, where, who, why, and how, and show me as evidence are the auditor's 7 friends. Use them effectively during the audit. These are the audit's golden rules which all ISO auditors to follow. They are: follow the internal audit guideline as per the ISO standard says. Go fact finding and not fault finding. Never challenge a person. Always present a true and fair view. Record your audit findings with meaning and purpose. Find out the auditor's interpretation, not yours. Always help the auditee. Communicate effectively with the auditee. With the help of the auditee, try to find out the real root cause of the problem, well, how to address them early. Verify the effectiveness of the corrective actions taken for the identified problems. Who is a perfect auditor? He is patient, interested, and inquiring, articulate, open-minded, and analytical, unbiased, and disciplined. He will listen to others patiently, have good judgment, and the ability to communicate friendly. He will be professional, prepared, and well-trained. He will not accept things at face value. He will seek evidence. Guidelines for the auditing the process. First, identify the meaning and purpose of the process. Identify the inputs and outputs of the process and its sub-processes. Check the targeted norms versus achieved for the inputs and outputs of the process. Check whether the outputs are measurable. Verify control measures are in place to keep the process under control. Ensure that there are no land, water, and air pollution. Verify for continuing improvements of the process. Check for good housekeeping and free from pollution. No unsafe places and no unsafe practices. Check if the customer satisfaction for the process is monitored and corrective actions taken to improve the same. Auditors should be familiar with the 3 standards and their clauses. Before commencing the audit, you should go through the department business process manuals, HIRA register, that is hazard identification risk assessment register, and also environment aspect impact register, and department SWOT risk and opportunities. SWOT is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Based on the inputs from the above documents, prepare a checklist for the audit. First, fix mutual date for the audit with the auditee. First, take a walk through the inspection in the department to be audited. Check for housekeeping, safety, hygiene, and pollution points. Check previous internal audit findings for any pending issues. The uncompleted audit findings in the previous audit can be again included in the present audit and can be converted into non-conformity report decided by the MR in the internal audit closing meeting. Audit findings should be clearly explained to the audit for better understanding. Audit findings should be written in the following manner. First, requirement. Second is failure and evidence stating the ISO standard and its class number. Audit findings by the auditors and corrective action proposed by the auditees are to be documented in the prescribed ISO format only, which will be discussed by MR in the internal audit closing meeting. Conduct follow-up audit after 1 month to verify the effectiveness of corrective action taken by the auditee. If the corrective action is not effective, the matter should be informed to MR concerned for further action. Agenda for preparing the ISO internal audit findings by the auditor. First point is opportunity for improvement in the department. Minimum 2 numbers to be suggested by the auditor. Second point is observations. They are potential non-conformities. Third point is non-conformity, NCR. If any, number of observations can be clubbed into a single NCR. Fourth is continuing improvements carried out in the department against ISO 9001, ISO 14000, and Occupational Health Safety Management System in the past 4 months. Get details from the auditee concerned. Fifth is the latest Kaizen implemented, audited to give details. Sixth is internal customer satisfaction report, verify feedback from the department internal customer HOD. Seventh is good housekeeping, auditor to give appropriate marks, poor, satisfactory, good after inspecting the department. How to report the results of the audit finding. A non-conformity statement needs to be worded in such a way that is easily understandable to those who were present at the time of audit and also those who were not and who may be involved in implementing the corrective actions for the findings. Statements should be clear, concise, and meaningful to enable the auditor to fully understand the problem and correct it early. Statements should specify the ISO standard requirements stating the class number to be complied, the details of the deviation along with objective evidence. These internal audit findings will also be reviewed by the third-party auditors in the department audit or in the management audit. Now let's see what are the auditee's requirements. Auditor should be familiar with the requirements of the 3 management system standards and clauses. Ensure all the documents and records are maintained as per ISO requirements as they are updated. Should be familiar and well versed with their department respective business process manual, HIRA register, environment aspect impact register, legal requirements, SWOT analysis, business risk and opportunities. These documents must be appropriately updated when there is any change made in the process, product and service. Help the auditor to conduct the audit early and submit duly filled in action taken report in the ISO prescribed format without delay. Auditor should not delay the audit. Force the auditor to do a last minute audit and submit a poor audit finding. This will not only add any value to the management system or to the company's business. These ISO internal audit findings and corrective action taken are reviewed by the external auditors during the management audit and take care. Understand fully the findings given by the auditor and give your corrective actions, mm, actions, the corrective action in the correct action format, and submit at least 3 days before the internal audit to close before the closing meeting. This will help the auditor to go through your proposed action taken reports and to prepare a final report early for the ISO closing meeting with the MR. Auditor should ensure that the action taken for the findings should be duly filled in the prescribed audit findings, and the action taken format as follows. First thing is immediate correction to rectify the non-conformity, root cause to eliminate the non-conformity, then take corrective action to eliminate the root cause of the non-conformity with the target date. Last is for target date. Auditees for ascertaining the sustainability of the corrective actions should request the auditor to verify the effectiveness of corrective action taken for sustainability after 1 month. Then only the non-conformity will get closed, or else it will be kept open and informed to MR. This will be again discussed in the MR meeting chaired by MD. What is external audit? External audits are conducted by third-party auditors such as ISO certifying bodies or their nominated persons, normally done with the audit plan and schedule. External audit by certifying body is conducted once in 6 months or yearly as per the discretion of the management. Once in 3 years, there will be a recertification audit by the ISO by the certifying agency. The audit findings are normally classified as opportunity for improvement. That is optional. They may give or they may not give. Observation, that is minor deviation which may become a non-conformity if left unattended. Minor non-conformity, NCR. Number of observations can be clubbed into a single NCR. Major non-conformity, this is serious, very serious. During external audit, the auditors normally will focus on and verify the following points as per ISO requirement. Verification action taken report for the previous audit findings, whether ISO document records are updated, objective evidence for the action taken for the previous audit findings, reports of internal audits and minutes of management review, updated environment aspect impact and HERA register, updated business risk and opportunities in the SWOT analysis and action taken, closing NCRs within target dates, evidence on compliance of legal, statutory, regulatory and other requirements, maintenance of machinery, weights and measures and instrument calibrations, unsafe places and unsafe areas, housekeeping, PPEs and mock drills for the emergency preparedness. Names of some reputed ISO certifying bodies are shown here with their company logo. DNV Business Assurance India Private Limited, TUV India Private Limited, Bureau Veritas India Private Limited, SGS India Private Limited, Intertech India Private Limited. Now let's see the correspondence between ISO 9000, ISO 14000, ISO 45000. The clauses are prepared in high-level structure to have similarity and compatibility between the three standards for easy understanding. Both auditors should fully know the meaning and purpose of the ISO clauses. Clause 1, 2 and 3 are only for reference and for information. These clauses do not come under the audit. Clause 4 is context of organization. You can see that the meaning in all the three standards are the same, except in ISO 45000, wherein the workers are included. Slide. Similarly, under clause 5, leadership, in ISO 45001, consultative and participation of workers is included. Clause 6 and 7, that is planning and support of the three standards, have the common requirement. Clause 8, operation, in ISO 9000 focus more on the product, services and non-conforming outputs. In ISO 14001, ISO 45000, we have the emergency preparedness and response. Clause 9 and 10, performance evaluation and improvement, have the same requirements for all the three standards. Both auditor and auditor should have a thorough knowledge of all these clauses in the three standards for better understanding and for further improving their business operations. We have come to the end of this video. Thank you all for your patience hearing. If you like to view my previous videos on 5 years concepts, TPM, ISO 9001, ISO 14001 and ISO 45001, please search Learning with Sivaram in YouTube and or Google and click the icon plant in folded hands so that my videos can be viewed in sequence. If you like these videos, please press the like image and subscribe and click the bell icon and share among your friends and others who will be benefited. I will also be further uploading free videos on other management systems tools for knowledge sharing. Once again, thank you all. Have a nice day.